Good day, good day, good day, everybody. I hope you are doing well. I hope you're doing well. This is a pre-recorded show. It's a pre-recorded show. I wasn't planning on pre-recording today's show. I was planning on being with you live, but something has come up. Marco and I have a funeral to go to this morning. A dear friend of ours, one of my husband's best friends, father passed away. So the funeral is today. And so that's why I am coming to you pre-recorded now. And so let me start from the top, right? Welcome to Sit with Rev Melissa. I am Rev Melissa, and SIP stands for Spirit in Practice, where we practice because the perfection is in the practice. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I had a good weekend. We were away, as many of you know. We were in Georgia for a wedding. Another one of Marco's best friends got married. Shout out to the bride and groom, Jay and Cam. It was a beautiful, beautiful ceremony and wedding activities. There were wedding activities every single day. And it was a lot. It was a lot. It was good to see people, be with people, and to appreciate life, to appreciate life. So I'm coming to you today for Sit with Rev Melissa, just with what's on the top of my heart right now. And what's at the top of my heart right now is to appreciate every day that we have. To appreciate every day that we have. I woke up this morning, I don't know, feeling a little out of sorts, feeling a little blue, a little heaviness, and so I immediately started saying what I'm grateful for, and I said my prayers and, got up to get myself going for today. And in doing so, what kept coming to my mind was life is precious. And I don't know if this is up for me because our friend lost his dad. That could be it. But I keep thinking about, all of the blessings that we have. This morning, as I was getting myself together, I was listening to yesterday's Living Life in Joy that Sekou hosted with an amazing, amazing young man, Brandon Marshall, who is on the board of Launchpad, which is one of the Elevating 8 organizations that is receiving support from the Hero Ministry work charity run that Sekou is doing and that the Congregation of Joy has supported. And one of the things that they were talking about in the interview is youth, youth who are finding themselves unhoused for a whole host of reasons. Many of them just need support, just need support. A lot of things happen and they find themselves unhoused. And it just made me so appreciate what I have. Sometimes I could get myself into this place where I'm in complaint, and one of the things that I find myself in complaint about is my house, right? I say I don't like my kitchen. Right now, we're dealing with some water issues that's just, a pain in the neck. And, and things happen when you have a house, when you are housed, there are things that you have to do to take care of the house, right? You have to invest, your resources in it because there's always usually something that needs some TLC. And coming home from Georgia, knowing that we're coming home to deal with a water issue. And I don't know about y'all, but there is nothing like water, right? Water is a powerful source to to contend with, right? And water will win. Water will win. So you got to work with the water, right? You got to be in harmony with the water. So, on the plane coming back home, I was just thinking about, okay, we got to come home and address this issue. And it is being addressed. But again, it put me in that place of, there are people out in the world where they wish they had a water issue, right? Because that would mean that they have shelter, they have a roof over their head. And it just made me, get out of this funk, to get out of the funk of whatever, right? Of whatever. And I started to think about our series, our 2-week series that we wrapped up. I think we wrapped up. We might just be taking a pause with the right? With the and I have all the words here that we've covered over these last 2 weeks. Resign, remind, recast, review, reprioritize, release, restore, and regenerate. And these words absolutely capture where I am right now, right? And I'm loving that we ended on Friday with regenerate, right? With regenerate. What is it that I'm seeking? What is it that you're seeking to regenerate in your life? To regenerate in your life. What is it that you are seeking to regenerate? And I had to look up the word again. And I had chosen that electronic definition, remember? To magnify the application of by relaying part of the output power into the input circuit, right? And that it requires space for the stillness of communion and the quiet of inspiration, right? It requires that we look at our inputs, So I had to catch myself this morning. I was like, wait a minute, Red Melissa, why are you waking up in a funk? Why are you waking up in a funk, right? What's the input here, right? And I could see if I kept going down that road, the input was going to be an input of negativity, an input of complaints, an input of heaviness, of weariness, right? That's not the input that I want to start off my day in. And so shifting that input, recognizing it for what it is, right? I'm not ignoring it. I'm not denying it. I'm feeling my feelings. As I say all the time, it is important to feel your feelings, but we don't have to revel in it, right? We don't have to revel in it, right? Especially if it's not going to move us upward, right? Move us in the direction that we are desiring to go, right? And so shift, right? It requires a shift in perspective, a heightening of consciousness. It requires exactly what this picture over here says, right? To choose joy. And I'm telling you, sometimes Red Melissa has to remind herself of that. And the best and most effective way that I remind myself of that is by coming into gratitude, by just speaking a word of what I am grateful for. Helps me to shift and to go into a place of gratitude, right? And to lighten myself up. No matter what each one of us have things that we have to do every single day that are requirements, right? It's just part of the responsibilities of being adults. Come on now, right? When I come downstairs, our cat is laying out on the top of the sofa. There's a nice little pillow cushion that he likes to lay on, and he sleeps there most of the day until the girls come home from school, right? And so this morning when I came down and I saw Davy the cat laid out on top of the couch, on top of his pillow, sleeping peacefully, for a split second, I said, oh, I wish I was a cat. I wish I had a cat. I wish I was a cat, right? Somebody feeds me, takes care of my business, right? I just gotta curl up and sleep when I want to, and go over and have somebody pet on me, right? It must be nice to be a cat, right? Right? But then I thought about, and you're just gonna have to excuse me today, okay? But then I started thinking about unhoused cats, right? I started thinking about cats who are out in the street, who don't have shelter, right? And that made me feel a little blue again. So then I just went and, loved up on Davy, and he was just purring and, basically saying, this is my sleep time. This is me time. You go over there and do what you need to do. This is my cat time right now, right? So I guess what I want to leave us with today is this. If you wake up feeling a little blue or feeling a lot blue, if you wake up and you feel as if the weight of the world is on your shoulders, if you wake up and you're not quite sure what you are doing, right? Take a moment. Take that sacred pause. Say something for which you are grateful for. Minister to yourself. We have to minister to ourselves, y'all. There's not going to always be someone around to give us that little boost we might need. So we have to minister to ourselves, right? Minister, lay hands on yourself and get our minds right. And the most effective way that I know that works for me 100% of the time is to pray and to be grateful. To pray and be grateful. And then I move. And then I move. And I could do what I need to do for the rest of the day, including my morning practice. So I hope that the Re series really sparked something within you, right? That it sparked, that it lit up that divine urge that is within you. I really hope that it did. And that you're now in the mindset of considering, contemplating on what it is that you are regenerating for and through your life. What are your inputs and what are your outputs? How are you feeding your spirit? How are you feeding your mind? How are you feeding your soul? How are you feeding your body? How are you taking care of yourself? How appreciative are we, for what we have, for the roof over our heads, for the very fact that we have technology that you can even watch SIP or the Be Your Own Hero show or Living Life in Joy or all the other things that we have at our disposal, right? So let's be in that place with ourselves, with all aspects of ourselves, even the parts of ourselves that feels down, blue, sad, disappointed, frustrated. We're taking it all in. And in all of it, we are applying love, patience with ourselves. At least that's what I'm doing for myself today, y'all. So today's sip is a one-off because I had to pre-record and do it earlier today. We'll be back tomorrow with a live sip. We'll see what the new series is. I hope everyone is doing well. Sending you all love, energy. Please send it back to me. I will receive it. Yes. All right. So I am Rev Melissa. I am an ordained interfaith minister. I am a licensed religious science practitioner. I am a purpose coach, and I am the spiritual director of Rockland Centers for Spiritual Living. And if you need support, like I needed support for myself today, and I gave it to myself, right? If you need support, please DM me and we can set up some time to talk. We are living life in joy, in gratitude, in appreciation, connected to our yes. Now it's time for some joy news. All right, so I mentioned yesterday's Living Life in Joy. Sekou Rice was my guest host, and he did an amazing job, as he always does. His guest was Brandon Marshall, and he is on the board of Launchpad. And Launchpad is one of the Elevating 8 organizations that Sekou is supporting through the charity run. And if you don't know about Sekou's charity run, go to SekouWrites.com and you will find all the information there. He is running every single day, at least a 5K he's been doing for, I don't know how many days now, but it's many, 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 many days. He's over 160 plus days of running consecutively. And Launchpad is one of the organizations that is benefiting from the charity run. And if you don't know, Launchpad it's an organization that works with youth, I believe between the ages of 18 and 24, who are without stable housing in Davidson County, that's in Nashville, Tennessee. And they ensure that they have a safe place to sleep throughout the year. Amazing. Amazing. So if you didn't see yesterday's show, please check it out. Living Life in Joy. You can watch the replay right here on New Thought Media Network. It's amazing. If you have not participated yet in the charity run, it is not too late for you to do so. The deadline is coming up, and we have a goal to meet. $5,000 raised, 500 miles run by Sekou. And I know my congregation of joy, if you have not participated yet, please do so today. Go to SekouWrites.com, make your contribution. It could be as little as 50 cents, right? 5 cents, right? Anything that you give goes towards that goal of $5,000. So please support. Please check us out next Sunday for Living Life in Joy, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. All right. And then right after that, we have our Sunday in Praise at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, where I'm the spiritual director at Rockland Centers for Spiritual Living. So please join us next Sunday at 11:30 for an uplifting, soul-stirring service. All right. And you can go to rocklandcsl.org and get information about the service there. Please save the date, y'all. This Friday, I feel like we just did this, but it's coming up again this Friday. The next meditation with the moon is the full moon, November 19th, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. We do a full-blown spiritual practice. So please bring something to write with, something to write on, and your consciousness. That's all that's required, a willingness to just do some work with yourself, and I will facilitate that with you. Afterwards, we have an after party on Zoom where we get to just share and fellowship and be with each other. So I hope you will join me November 19th, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. And remember, on the days that we have meditation with the moon, we have SIP at 11 p.m., not 10:30. So there won't be a 10:30 SIP on Friday. Okay? All right. All right. So since it's pre-recorded, I can't say, okay, Sekou, what's going on? I can't say that. So I will say that tomorrow. Thank you all for being with me today. Thank you all for just your love energy. I feel it. Even in the recording, I feel it as I look to end the show. So you know, when I have to produce, I do the best I can. All right. So I will see you all tomorrow. Peace and blessings. Peace and justice. We're living life in joy, connected to our yes.